Hey guys, it's Coach Linny with Linepro. Today we're talking about your huddle film and how you can make it better. We're going to give you tips on the length, how to highlight yourself. We're going to talk about the music, going to talk about variety, and we're going to talk about the quality of your highlights. So let's get into it. So the first thing we have to talk about, and it's the most important thing, is the circle. And this is when you are trying to highlight yourself during the play to show the coaches where you are in the field. Coaches and also viewers, right? There's more than just coaches watching this. So when you're going to go circle yourself, the biggest mistake that I see is that guys wait until mid-play because they're trying to, show themselves right before the big hit they make. All right, but that is a huge mistake because every coach in the world, they want to see the whole play. They want to see how you got to that position. They want to see the steps you took out of your stance. They want to see if you're making calls before the play starts. They want to be able to see your thought process in the play. And to just show the big hit is very naive to all of those factors. So my official suggestion to you is to try to highlight yourself before the play starts if possible. Sometimes you might not be able to because you go out of the screen, you go off, you go out of the frame and you come back in. Then that's okay. Once in a while, you can get away with it, but when possible, try to go before the ball is snapped. And the other thing with the circle is that you could also use the arrow if it does a better job of highlighting where you are. You don't want to do a circle and have it, circle 4 guys or 3 guys next to you, including yourself, and it makes it tough to see where you are. If you're able just to do a little arrow and better depict where you are, then go with that. Setting the hook. I see this a lot. Guys will put their plays in no certain order. And what you guys need to understand is that on average, if somebody's watching your highlights, especially a coach, they need to be hooked in the first 5-6 plays, guys. They're not going to watch your 5-minute highlight and they're going to turn it off if it starts out soft. And it would be a shame for them to turn it off and then the next highlight that they missed is a big explosive pancake, right? So what I suggest guys do is go through your tape and then just try to identify the best 3 or 4 plays and put them in that first 5-play slot, all right? Open with strength. The film itself, the whole purpose of this thing is not to be what you're getting offered off of, and all that kind of stuff. It's meant to be a hook to get these coaches to investigate you deeper, okay? So we're trying to sell you, you're trying to sell yourself. Last time you went to the movies and they had previews, do they show all the boring parts first? No, they show the explosions and all the good stuff, right? The car chases and everything. So my point is, in that first 5 plays, we need to have the good stuff. Now, you don't have to drain the whole tape of everything good. It'd be nice to have, good plays throughout. And that brings us to our next point, which is quality. All right, so quality also goes along with tape length, okay? And what I mean is that there needs to be a positive correlation between the length of your tape and the overall quality of these highlights, guys. You can't just make up for not having that many highlights by just putting a bunch of bad ones. Honestly, we'd rather see a shorter tape that features a higher total quality of highlights. So as far as total length goes, we'd like to aim for about 3 minutes, at least 2. All right, and then really no more than 5 is ever really necessary. So if you can aim to be between those 2, then that will be the most ideal length for the most people to watch the whole thing. On top of that, there's a lot of times where people have a lot of extra seconds in there. Okay, what I mean is before the snap, if there's like 4 seconds of receiver motions and quarterback making adjustments, and then you have 15 plays, that adds up to over a minute of extra time that you're making the people watch. So I think an O lineman's highlight compared to anybody else's should be very boom, boom, bang, one play to the next, right? And you don't have to show a running back finishing the play. If you spring a touchdown and he goes all the way and it's not obvious, then maybe you could show that whole thing. But if it's kind of obvious what's happening, he's going to get tackled or not, then just move on to the next play, right? Let's get on to the next good part, which is the lineman blocking, right? So next, guys, is variety and versatility. okay? What I'm talking about here is that this is your opportunity to show these coaches that you are well-rounded. You could do more than just play the one position of O-line, right? Coaches love seeing an O-lineman that they're recruiting being able to play D-line effectively. Coaches love seeing O-linemen that they're recruiting being able to short snap and long snap, to play multiple positions along the line. So if you have some of that, make sure you show it, okay? The one thing, though, is don't overdo it, all right? If you're trying to get recruited as an O-lineman, and you're pretty sure that that's where you should be, then don't make over half your clips on D-line. And if they're great, then maybe you should be being recruited as D-lineman. And if you're being recruited as both, then show both, all right? Just, it's pretty self-explanatory. But my point is, if you snap, if you punt, if you kick, all that stuff, just go ahead and put a clip or two in there so they know it's there. And then later on, when they review your whole film, they can look for more every play type of stuff when it comes to versatility. When it comes to the topic of music on your highlights, there are some people out there who say that you shouldn't put it on there, that it's obnoxious. But my attitude is that it's not. It's cool, and if somebody doesn't want to listen to it, they can just mute the computer, right? And they do. I would probably guess that most coaches mute the computer and don't listen to the music anyways. So there's not really a good reason not to pick music. The only thing I'm going to ask of you guys is to stop all picking the same one. I've been on Huddle. There's like 150 songs. I think you can even upload your own. That might not be true. But the point is, I turn on tape, and every one is the same, do-do, do-do-do. And it's an annoying song, So go through and just find something that speaks to you. And I guess my other tip on that would be don't spend more than 2 minutes messing with it, because it really doesn't matter that much. Let me tell you something that happens more than it should. I will search for a kid's huddle. I'll find it. I'll go to his huddle page, and the pinned highlight is, a single game from earlier in the year, last year's highlights, and the one that you just made is further down the list, okay? Just like Twitter, how you can pin stuff. So make sure that you don't fail to pin it to the top of the page, and then when you're on Twitter, pin that to the top of the page, right? We want this stuff to be seen, and you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not, making it the most visible as possible. And obviously this isn't something that you would be doing on purpose, but it's a mistake I see a lot, and guys just aren't aware. So go on your huddle, make sure that you hit that pin it to the top, and that way people can find it when they're looking for it. So after you watch this video, you go to your huddle, you look at your plays, you pick the best ones, you move them up, you make some changes. It's a great opportunity to get on Twitter, get on Facebook, get on Instagram, and re-share the highlights that you've already put out there. Right? Again, make sure they're pinned to the top. I do see a lot of guys who seem nervous or scared to be social, to share them with the world, and they're afraid of what people think and all that kind of stuff. Guys, probably the biggest advice I can give you in all of life is to not worry about that, right? If your goal is to play college football, it doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter who's seeing this, your friends, teachers, girls, whatever. You need this to get out there, and you need to put your best foot forward. You need to show these coaches what you got. So don't be afraid to tweet it. Don't be afraid to be a little obnoxious. It's like you're trying to sell yourself, and it's just constant interactions. We want them to see your name. We want them to see your tape, see your picture. So being social, resharing, saying, hey, I just fixed my highlights. They're way better. Check it out. I just upgraded my highlights thanks to Coach Linny and Linepro. Check it out. Then that, to me, is a great thing to do. You're going to get the eyeballs on you, and it really can't hurt. Guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. I appreciate you guys joining us. If you would like to tweet or DM me your highlights, I will take a look, and I can even retweet them as long as they're good. I hope that you guys got something out of this. I hope that these tips can help you go reshape your highlights and make them better. All we're trying to do is help you guys. All we're trying to do is build a community, and it's all about the linemen. We love you guys, and we will see you next time on Linepro Tips.